Good morning, good morning, good morning. Today is Friday, August the 8th, 2025. Currently, I am on annual leave. I took annual leave because one, we need to make sure that our membership and our members still receive representation. And I'm going to tell you why that's important. I'm going to do a follow up as to events that took place this week so that you have a full understanding of what happened. Okay. So I'm on leave this week, Thursday and Friday today, to make sure that my membership still has a voice and we still represent the employees. Now, there's some things that you need to know that you have probably not been told, but I'm going to make it clear for you here so that you have a full understanding and a full picture of what has taken place. When the new administration came in, if you recall, from the last time the administration was in, they went after the union. They went after our ability to represent the bargaining unit employees. And about 5,000 employees, if not more, have been terminated through 714 actions. Most of those employees were housekeepers, people to keep our hospitals clean and disinfected. They were housekeepers. And because the agency did that, the union filed a grievance and the agency had to bring those people back to work. The union did that, not the agency. The agency also terminated a whole bunch of employees without giving them a performance improvement plan. The union filed a grievance, brought all those people back. If you remember, also in 2020, during the previous administration, they kicked the unions out the building. We filed a grievance. They have to bring the union back. So these are some of the reasons why what I tell you next will make sense to you. When the new administration came back in to office, they could not, and you heard this in the news, they could not attack our retirement pay by changing it from high three to high five. They could not change other benefits to our retirement plan, and they could not make changes through Congress that impacted civil service employees. They couldn't do it because congressional leaders understood that we are valuable federal employees that have families and we're human beings. So Congress realized, no, I'm not going to go along with that. We're not going to do that. So what happened was the White House signed an executive order on March 27th, 2025, issued the executive order. On the same day or the same night they issued the executive order, they filed a declaratory judgment case in Waco, Texas, trying to get the district court in Waco, Texas to agree with them to immediately get rid of all contracts. Do it immediately. We want it done right now, right now. And the district judge in Waco, Texas says, no, we're not going to do that because Congress enacted the unions. They agreed they have a right to negotiate and bargain and they have a right to representation, and they dismissed that case. So we proceed forward. That lawsuit was dismissed around the end of July. I think July 23rd to be exact. I'm not sure, but later in July. So as we continue moving forward, the union had filed a lawsuit against the agency for the executive order. An injunction was put in place that says, no, you cannot get rid of contracts. You cannot get rid of the unions. It's part of federal law. It's part of the statute. You cannot get rid of them. And the judge issued an injunction, which told the agency, more likely than not, the union will prevail and you cannot do this. Okay? So the injunction was put in place. The agency appealed that injunction, went before a 3-person panel at the appeal court, the Ninth Circuit. And during that appeal, they told the Ninth Circuit panel, the 3-person panel, the agency is not going to mess with any contracts. We're going to leave them all alone. We're not going to touch them. We're not going to mess with them. We're going to let the judicial process play itself out. And for that reason, the panel said, well, if you're not going to mess with the contracts, then there's not going to be no irreparable harm. Nobody's going to be immediately harmed by it. So we're going to lift the injunction. And the panel also recited the agency's words that they were not going to mess with any contracts in their decision. Well, here we are. They went against what they told the panel they were going to do. Now the union is now drafting language to go back to the full 9-person panel. The full 9-person panel at the same court, the same appeals court, to the 9-person panel and say, panel, the agency told you when we came before you previously that they were not going to mess with any contracts. However, they did. And it's impacting nearly 500,000 people across the country and causing irreparable harm because the agency said the contracts are no longer valid. We expect to win that appeal because the agency's own words were, we're not going to touch any contracts. That was the agency's own words. Now, we have to ask ourselves, what would be the purpose of the agency getting rid of the contracts? Or what's the motive? What would the motivation be? The motive and motivation would be is that you don't have any rights. For example, we recently signed an agreement that was made in January 2024 in the middle of arbitration. In the middle of arbitration, the agency agreed to give all of these employees their COVID leave back that was stolen from them. Thousands of hours of COVID leave is being given back to employees because of our union. Why? Because employees were misled, they were lied to, and they were told there was no COVID leave available when it was. That's the benefit of the union. Another benefit is you heard them talk about for 5 or 6 months, we're going to get rid of 83,000 positions in the VA. Because of the union, because we organized and because we protested and because we spoke to members of Congress and we galvanized the public, there is no getting rid of 83,000 positions anymore. Why? Because of the union. There's been multiple illegal terminations across the country. You might remember when they put that 714 action in, they terminated about 5,000 employees. 95 to 96% of them were unjustly terminations. And it cost the VA millions of dollars to bring them back. Well, that's because they violated the contract. They violated the contract they agreed to with the union. So those employees have to be given resolution to either come back, take a settlement, or just move on down the road with a settlement. But that was because of the union. Without the union, that would never have occurred. You might also remember they were trying to attack our retirement benefits and all that stuff through Congress. It was because of the union. The high 3 remains a high 3 and not a high 5. It was because of the union that they're not going to be able to mess with other benefits that you have as federal employees by attacking your insurance, by attacking your TSP. Why? That's happening because of the union, not out of the goodness of their heart, but because of the union. What's another benefit? We have here employees and all across the nation, employees were not given proper promotion through the merit promotion system. Because of the union, employees who were denied proper and just merit promotions are getting their promotions with their back pay. Not because the agency, out of the goodness of their heart, but because of the union. Another thing that we've done, we've been able to get employees back pay for wrongful actions that's been done by the agency. The PACE, I remember several employees were brought in at the wrong pay grade, the wrong pay scale. Because of the union, we got that corrected. Not because the agency did it out of the goodness of their heart, but because of the union. So those are some of the benefits of the union. And when they tell you we no longer have a union, we still have a union. The only way to get rid of a union is through congressional legislation, through Congress. Congress enacted the unions. Congress enacted the ability to organize and have contracts. It was because of the union that all of us have safe drinking water. That's because of the union. You see the agency here doing thermal eradication. Why? Because the water is not safe. There's reasons why we have a safety provision in our contract. We have employees here who are owed thousands of dollars in compensatory damages due to unsafe working conditions because of the union, okay? And the agency tried to hide that. We have several employees who are getting merit promotions with back pay because of the union. The employees are going to be made whole. So those are what the agency is trying to say. We don't want to have a union because we don't want the employees to be treated fair. We don't want the employees to be made whole. We don't want the employees to have a fair voice in the hospital. We don't want employees, all of them, to be treated fair and equal. That is the only reason why they would want to get rid of a contract that is meant to have equality, fairness in the system. Period. Period. There's no other reason. There's no other reason. So we are encouraging our members to continue to stand strong with us as we continue to fight. We're going back to the appeals court here really, really quick and tell them that the agency did not honor their word when they came before you. Without dues paying members and without the union, we couldn't make that happen. So we are telling our membership locally and all across the country, continue to stand in solidarity, and AFGE will be successful. And if the success means that you are successful, the success means that your family has the proper benefits. The success means that your family has a member here working for the Department of Veteran Affairs, that when they come home at night, if they get injured, they can receive damages for that. It is because of the union. That is the reason why we tell people, stay strong, stay together, remain in solidarity, and we will get through this together. Okay, we will get through this together. And it just kind of, makes you think, why would you tell me that you love me and you appreciate me, and then turn right around within a few days and say, I don't love you and I don't appreciate you, get out. Something's wrong with that picture. I think you would agree with me that something's wrong with that. Okay? Something's wrong with that. All right. And we're going to stand here. We're going to stand with you. We're going to stand together in solidarity. Some of us will have to take leave to represent the employees. Some of us, as we've done in the past, we've taken leave. We've worked after duty hours. We've worked during our lunch periods because our membership deserves for us to be there. And because of that, we know that AFGE will still be standing when the dust settles. All right, God bless you. God keep you, and we will keep you informed. Remember, faith over fear, hope over despair, and strength over weakness. God bless you, and God keep you. Have a good day.